My name is Adam, and I was about 17 years old when this incident happened. So, back in 2015, two of my friends and I went to Disneyland in California. We were there until 11 p.m., and all of us were too tired to drive home in my friend Jay's minivan, so we ended up staying at a hotel. However, our budget was kind of tight to stay at a nice hotel, so we settled at a small two-story brown hotel. As soon as we walked in, it was very dark inside, and I could see the front desk light was on. The short guy at the front desk seemed to be in his 30s and had a very friendly smile. He said to us that we were the only customers he had seen all day, and then we paid him $30 for the room. We could choose any room we wanted since there were no other people staying there, so we picked room 7 on the second floor. When we walked into the room, Jay jumped on the bed and fell asleep right away. There was one bed and a couch left, so we argued over who was going to have a bed. Rudy was especially scared about the Yelp app review that lots of people heard large rats in the vents. So I ended up lying on a large, stiff red couch right above this large vent. The vent was large enough and it was close enough to the ground to crawl in there. I was joking with Rudy that the rats are going to come through the vent and eat him alive. And this made him on edge, but he finally fell asleep. Around 1 a.m. when I finally went to sleep, I suddenly awoke to a bump sound in the vent. I looked around the room to see if all the suitcases were open, but both Jay and Rudy were asleep. So I was pretty spooked out at that time. No rat could do this, I thought to myself. Just then, something caught my eyes, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The man's face was staring at me through the vent. I quickly grabbed my phone and turned the flashlight on to see the man's whole face. He had a few teeth missing and strands of hair had fallen out from the side of his head. He then slowly opened the vent and said like this, "Please, don't scream. She won't like it." I yelled, and Jay and Rudy both awoke in fear. And just then, the man got out and tried to grab me as all of them ran out of the room. We all ran down to the front desk and called the police. A few minutes later, the police arrived. When they entered the room, no one was there, so they decided to check inside the vents. To my surprise, they found him in the corner of the vent with blankets and food as if he'd been living in there for a long time. They ended up pulling him out and arrested him. For a week, I was still in shock from what had happened, but the other day in the morning, one of the officers called me and told me about him. He escaped from the mental hospital 4 months ago and murdered his mother and grandmother. It is said that the bodies had been badly dismembered. He also had a kitchen knife in his pocket when they arrested him. They sent him back to the county jail, and I heard nothing else from the officer after that. To this day, I still wonder what would have happened to me and my friends if I just ignored the sound from the vent that night.